Thanks for having us. So we're going to be talking about how you can share your story in order to make a difference. So real quick, I'm going to give you some background information on the Lung Cancer Alliance. We are the leading national lung cancer organization dedicated to saving lives, advancing research, and empowering people. We've been around for 20 years, and we're headquartered in Washington, D.C. We offer free support, referral, and information services, as well as put on large educational and awareness campaigns nationwide. And we've raised upwards of $100 million of federal research funding for lung cancer on Capitol Hill. We've established a national lung cancer community through our social media channels, our lung cancer mobile app, which is called LCA Unite, and our events on the ground. So the best way to raise awareness in your position is to share your story. And there are two easy ways to do this. One is through social media, and the other is media outreach. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about social media. So getting really basic, social media channels are a place where you can connect and communicate with others online. Now, where we've seen our lung cancer community engage and where they're most active online is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And not all social media channels are created equal. They all have very different purposes. Facebook, we see our community is very engaged. They're compassionate, they're passionate, they're forming bonds. They're looking for support, they're offering support, and sharing their experiences. Now, Twitter has a restriction on the amount of characters you can use to share your message, and therefore it's much better for hard news, trending topics, facts, event promotion, that kind of stuff. Instagram is very image focused. You're telling your story through an image and very short messaging. And YouTube is for videos. It's a place to share and store your videos. So in general, the top best practices across all these social channels are keep it short and simple. Keep your message short and simple. People don't want to read a lot. They want to hear your message direct and to the point. Use visuals, whether that be a photo or putting facts into a visual format, into a graph, something like that. Visuals work. And reach beyond your community. So there's ways to do this by, you can ask your community to share your posts, so reaching their communities. You can also use hashtags, which insert you into existing conversations around certain topics. And I'm going to show you a few examples of this. So here's an example of survivors and loved ones sharing their story on the Lung Cancer Alliance Facebook page. So a great way to share your story and reach beyond your community is to post your story on an organization or an individual's timeline that's already established on social media and has a following in that field. Now, if that's too much for you, we can share your story for you. Once a week, we'll put out survivor spotlights on our Facebook page, and we get amazing responses from survivors and loved ones. And all you got to do is send us a photo and a little bit about your story, and we can do that for you. And finally, this top tweet is an example of using hashtags to insert yourself into the conversation. So this is a tweet that we put out just before Lung Cancer Awareness Month. So we used LCAM15, which is the official Lung Cancer Awareness Month hashtag, as well as hashtag lung cancer and hashtag LCSM, which is lung cancer social media. So that means that this tweet will be inserted into conversations about these topics that are already in existence. And then finally, these two tweets you see below is an example of one of our lung cancer advocates tweeted at a local radio station, and they invited her to do an interview at the radio station, which you can see we tweeted out. So social media also serves as a great way to reach media directly. So now I'm gonna hand it over to my colleague, Chris, who's gonna tell you about telling your story through media outreach.
Right. Thanks, Gabby. Quickly, we look at media outreach as an opportunity here to, basically generally share your story, but there are specific purposes to that and what you're able to accomplish. The first is you could fight back against lung cancer stigma. Secondly, you can also educate the general public who may not know much about lung cancer by providing general facts about the disease. And then finally, you can tell local stories because that's what people are looking for. In specific communities, they want to hear how individuals are being impacted. They may know them, and it may help them gain a better understanding of what they're going through. So let's say you actually want to go ahead and do this. So how do you go about it? The basic way that I do a lot of the time at Lung Cancer Alliance is contact a reporter directly, and you can do this as well. You look on the station website, and you find a number, and you just call. Tell them what you're looking to do as far as sharing your story, and they'll connect you with the right person, and you can talk to them that way, and if they're interested, they'll actually do a story. The other way, which Gabby touched on, is reaching out to them via social media. I mean, if you're active on Twitter, a lot of reporters are doing that these days as far as sharing information, looking for sources, or looking for stories, so you can contact them that way. Another thing that's worked for us is giving people the tools to actually write a letter to the editor, depending on the time of year, to get their story out that way. It is another option to share statistics, but also this month to highlight that it's Lung Cancer Awareness Month. The example that we have here, we did one earlier this year around Mother's Day. We sent out a template to some members of our community, and they placed letters in their own local papers. So those are just two different ways you could possibly go about, trying to get media interested in your stories locally. Some key takeaways, both in the social media front and the media outreach front. For social media, make sure you have the right information on the right platform. Keep it short, simple, and visual. And make the most of the posts that you're actually putting out there. Include hashtags where appropriate so it can get the most reach in terms of who gets a chance to see it. Then on the media outreach front, local is better. Reporters want to hear what's going on in their communities. And if you have stories about lung cancer, a lot of people don't necessarily know about that, so that's a good way to reach out to them so you can let other people know. Media outreach is no guarantee of coverage. Oftentimes, there's a lot of different things going on in a newsroom. Even if they want to cover a story, they may not be able to at that particular time. Which leads to my next point, resources are at a premium. Newsroom budgets are being cut, so there are fewer people covering more stories these days. So if you do get a reporter who's interested, try a couple of times. The time you reach them again, they may have an opportunity to actually cover what you're trying to tell them about. And then relationship building matters. Especially locally, you have an opportunity to actually give them a call or reach out to them via social media. It's a great way to establish a relationship that could sort of build out over time. They may not cover you that first time, but that second or third time that you reach out to them, they may have time to actually share your story. And if you do need help with this, both Gabby and I are more than happy to sort of help you do that in your own community. So that's it. Thanks.